everyone, thank you again for tuning in to another video with Stay Away from Narcs. I've been away for a while, but I really appreciate all the love, all your comments, everything that you've been sharing and motivating me to continue to do these videos. It's because of you that I'm still doing this channel. Every single one of you that has, been able to explain what you guys have been going through, and I've been seeing your comments, and I really want to continue this channel as a place of healing and solace for you guys. All the love that you're showing and all the motivation that you're giving me, I can't express enough really how grateful I am and how much I'm thankful to each and every one of you that has contributed and shared your stories and anything that you've helped with just explain. And I want you, and I hope to continue that. Hope that you guys are continuing in your healing, and I thank you, and this is the reason why I'm continuing this, and I'm back with another video and going to continue. Hopefully I'm going to be building this channel as much as I can. So thank you again for your patience. I really appreciate every single one of you, and I hope you have the healing and everything that it is that you need. Praying for it, I'm hoping for it, that you guys are sustained and away from this type of abuse and are receiving everything that you need. So thank you again. Hope to hear from you all soon. So today's video is going to be regarding no matter what the narcissist and the narcissistic family system try to do to keep their image upward and try to smear you with, try to scapegoat you with, the truth is always going to prevail, and it's always going to come out. And there's always going to be a way for people to see on the outside the reality of who these narcissists are. Okay, specifically, I'll give you a little bit of detail and background of my own story. And I've heard this happen multiple times with people that have been abused by narcissists, specifically people that have been either their parents were narcissists and they got out, or they came into a narcissistic family household as a spouse or a partner of a child of a narcissist. And the whole family system is toxic, and they want, there's always going to be a way that they're going to try to scapegoat you and discard you if you're coming into that family, or if you're a part of that family that wants to be healthy, that wants to be in peace, that wants to be away from the toxicity and wants to break the cycle. Because narcissists, again, they need a scapegoat. They need somebody to blame when something occurs in the family, and especially, these narcissistic family systems, there's always going to be this toxicity. There's always going to be this abuse going on where it's swept under the rug. So they need a party to blame it on. So either if you are a child of narcissists or you're somebody that's coming into this family, if you try to go against the narcissistic family system, it runs like a cult. So if you've ever been brought into a cult, or if you've ever been born into a cult, right? And let me talk a little bit. I'm going to talk a little bit about the difference between, because I've thought about this myself, and I think a lot of people ask about this, the difference between a collectivist family and a cult. Because in a collectivist family usually, there a lot of collectivist family in like East Asia, Asian countries, or Eastern countries, Middle Eastern countries, where there is collectivist cultures versus more westernized society has more individualistic mentality, more individualistic cultures. Collectivist cultures and collectivist families are more, they spend more time around the family. They usually stay longer with the family under the same household. They take, a lot more advice from their family members and try to be able to sustain each member of their family. There's a lot more collectivism involved in these collectivist families versus the individualistic, westernized families, right? But when you have narcissism, whether you're in a Western society or you're whether in an Eastern society, right? If there's narcissism in the family, it's narcissism like a cult. So the difference between a cult and a collectivist family is that in a collectivist family, you'll have people that, the family members, they're going to want you, maybe the parents want you to be a doctor, an engineer. But if you disagree and you want to go off and you want to do your own thing in your own style, your parents, they may hesitate, or they may, feel bad for however long, but they're not going to ostracize you. They're not going to smear you. They're not going to abuse you to the point where you get kicked out of the family, or you are scapegoated, or everything about you is just, you have a label across your face saying that you are no good, and you have to be abused left and right because you're not keeping up this quote unquote family image. Okay. That is a cult, toxic, narcissistic system. Okay. And these cult, toxic, narcissistic, family systems, you cannot say no, and you cannot be who you were truly made to be and who you truly want to be. Okay. If you think about individuating, even if you think about doing what you want to do and living in your purpose and being who you want to be, you're going to get ostracized. You're going to get abused verbally, emotionally, manipulated left and right. Okay. Specifically my ex, he didn't want to work for his family business, right? He came from a narcissistic, toxic system, that cult, right? The cult. It wasn't a collectivist family. And it's funny because these narcissistic families, they want to act and portray so much like they're quote unquote collectivist family members, like they love each other and they're always spending time with each other, and they'll portray that image to the outside world that, we do everything for family and we love family and we take care of each other. But it's the exact opposite of that. In a toxic cult, narcissistic family system, they're abusing people left and right, and it always gets swept under the rug. And every time you want to do something for you don't do it for that narcissistic family out of love. You do it because you have to, because if not, you're going to get abused. You're going to get battered down. You're going to get scapegoated. Okay. Specifically, like my ex-fiance, he had no choice, right? He had a choice, but he had to work for his family's business, because if he didn't, his narcissistic parents would rage. They would scapegoat him. They would go on, his narcissistic malignant mother would go on even as to slash his tires, steal his keys, and steal his wallet and hide them from him to be able to control him, and not being able to get out and individuate and have his own freedom. And then after she hid the keys, hid the wallet, and hid all his other belongings, he had to get out and to be able to get another job and to individuate. After infantilizing him for the majority of his life, she blamed it on him constantly that he didn't know how to take care of his belongings. That is what happens in a cult, narcissistic family system. You will be brainwashed since you're a child. You will be infantilized, okay? Especially if you are the sensitive child, quote unquote, if you are the emotionally intelligent child, okay? If you have any sense of wanting to be healthy and have any sense of healthy empathy, in a narcissistic family cult system, they don't like that. They don't like you for it. You will get scapegoated and battered down for it. Okay, that doesn't happen in your just regular collectivist family. It doesn't. Okay, they may think, oh, they're different, but they're not going to label you a scapegoat. They're not going to label you a golden child. They're not going to put one child up against each other, one on a pedestal and the other in the garbage. They're not going to do that. This is the difference that we're dealing with here. And I think it's important for people to understand that, and to really, because there's a lot of people that have come to me and said, well, I'm from an East Asian culture and really collectivist. But I think people have to really understand the difference between, again, the collectivist and the cult family. When a family system becomes toxic, when there's bouts of narcissism in these families. Because if there's bouts of narcissism and toxicity, and it's not just collectivism, then you're potentially getting abused. You are getting abused. So people need to be aware of these things. If you're not able to have any freedom by the time you're an adult, and really, make your own decisions without you having to feel like you're being gaslit, without you having to feel like in your gut intuition, like something is severely wrong and you're being hurt about it, especially if you're somebody, again, you feel like you have high empathy, and you really just want to live a peaceful, normal life. You really just want to go out and travel. You really just want to, do or study the education that you want to study. And your parents are like, no, you have to stay in our family business, or no, you have to be a lawyer, or, your things are coming up missing, or your parents are so retaliated against you that they have to cause something that you can get away with harm, they end up taking your stuff, or they end up damaging your vehicle, or, they do anything, they put other family members and your siblings against you, that is a key distinct feature of, you're not just in a collectivist family, you are potentially in a toxic family system. So I want you to keep that in mind. And like I said, with my ex, there was tons of situations and times where I've seen, like, they tried to portray themselves as this loving collectivist family, and me being, I've known collectivist families, but I also, I grew up in a toxic family system. So those were blurred for me too. And I think a lot of us that grow up in toxic family systems and around that toxicity, we think it's collective, but it's not really collective. It's toxic. Okay. Again, you're not going to be made to feel bad if you want to have your freedom, if you want to live in your purpose, if you want to go after a career that you really like and you feel like is your calling in life, because that's what narcissists don't want you to do. That narcissists want you to hold up an image to maintain for the narcissist. If it's not for the narcissist, and if it's not bringing attention, stroking the narcissist's ego, bringing any financial or any type of gain to the narcissist is not going to want you to do it. My ex wanted to be a social worker. Okay. He had a passion for helping other people. He was highly emotionally intelligent, but he was not allowed to do that because his family thought it was not going to bring them enough money. And they thought, it's not going to be good enough for our family image. Either you have to become a lawyer, or you're just going to work for the family business, or you have to have this high prestigious degree. And that's where you see so many people end up, so many children of narcissists end up abusing substances, sprung out on drugs, or bullying other people because they're not able, or severely depressed because they're not able to be who they want to be. They have to follow a fake facade, and following a fake facade and not being able to do what you love and what you're passionate about and what you feel like your purpose to do in life. It goes against everything that you stand for. And it literally, you're literally suppressing yourself, and suppression is what causes depression. It's what causes anxiety. So I feel, I'm making this video for those that may have been, children of narcissists, or you have been, a spouse or a partner of a child of a narcissistic family system, or brought into this narcissistic family cult, and you feel like you were never able to be yourself. You feel like you would have to hold up this image, and all it did was crush your spirit. All it does is, at the end of the day, it crushes your spirit because you're not able to be who you are. You have to be a toxic, dysfunctional, enabling, lying, conspiring person that goes against everything that they are, just for one person. It's just like you're basically in there to worship the narcissist, and nothing else about you matters. Okay, so thank you. I appreciate if you got to the end of this video. Thank you again for listening, and thank you again for all the comments. I'm coming back with more videos about the narcissistic mother-in-laws and all these other topics. Again, please leave it in the comments if you want a specific topic that you'd like me to speak about. I'm open to it, and hopefully I will be back soon. The links in the description to donate are there if you would like to donate. I appreciate it. All love. Please, again, stay away from narcs. I wish you peace and healing. Thanks.